Hey guys, welcome to our trailer breakdown of Avatar: The Last Airbender, coming to Netflix February 22nd. If you missed our trailer reaction, that's already up on the channel. It's in the description down below if you missed it, and in the top right corner of the YouTube video. Christian and I did this immediately following our trailer reaction, so we're just going to dive right into it right now. Let's go back through, because that's the
Yeah.
power of YouTube. We're going to get this at 0.25 so we can get a
Oh
good look
boy.
at everything. Yeah, super slow motion. Let me mute that because that's going to be a pain. So we have this comet going through.
Oh yes.
Is that Sozin's comet?
I'm assuming. I don't know.
Is that the one that wipes out the air nomads, or is that the one
Mm,
that is going to be at the end of this series?
that's true. I do not know. That's a very good question. I like how they're keeping things in the dark. Obviously, we're big fans of the show, but this trailer stitched together as it's a modern trailer for sure. Because yeah.
So what do you think we're looking at here? Are we looking at
Is that
firebenders attacking the
I
air
think I
temple, or
want.
like?
Yeah, hold on. Let me put my glasses on. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm super old right now. I'm like, oh, let me put on my spectacles. Yeah, it looks like a Fire Nation attack on definitely, yeah, more so Air Nomad. At first, I was gonna say, is that Ba Sing Se? I'm like, no, that's too small to be Ba Sing Se.
Oh
But it's a
god,
bit dark, so it's hard to see what city it is. But I think it is one of the air temples for sure.
that would be terrifying if we actually saw the massacre happen.
No, yeah, because we never really, we hear about it, and with Avatar, the original being a kids show on Nickelodeon, they had to teach what genocide was to like 9, 10-year-olds. So it's like
Maybe
I
even
think,
younger too.
yeah, even younger. So I think with this, we're gonna see a little bit more of the attack because the Fire Nation being like
Yeah,
effectively one of
yeah,
the
it is. Look,
smaller. Oh,
this
yeah.
guy's definitely wearing yellow. And they have
Yeah, I see a
staffs.
little
These are
pole. Yeah,
airbenders.
airbenders for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's
Mm.
gonna be tragic if we see Monkey Yatso die.
Dude, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for a lot of it to relive a lot of this stuff in live action. But my heart will persevere. This shot looks amazing with Aang and the boy in the iceberg.
I
Episode
love
1.
episode 1. I love the I have the subtitles up too, so we can still see what Iroh is saying. I like how he said the past and we see the massacre, and then he says the future.
Yeah.
And we cut to this shot. I think that's a nice touch. This was filmed on the volume, much like how Disney does their Star Wars shows, like the Mandalorian, Ahsoka. So they're able to capture that sense of scale for a reasonable budget, and that's the thing that was always kind of scary. Of like, how do you capture the real vision of Avatar: The Last Airbender and its massive scale in a TV series?
Seriously,
And
yeah.
I think this opening shot right here, because this is going to be very on the series, I think it works.
I think it's a beautiful shot too. Like honestly, if I can find like a wallpaper of that, I would use it. Like it look, the ice, the sun hitting the ice, like the way it glistens, and it feels like, obviously that's Aang in the ice sphere, but it feels grand. It feels like you're transported into this world. Like it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's Sokka, right? Oh, yeah, okay. Katara's right behind them.
Sokka,
Yeah.
Katara.
She's got her hair loopies.
Costume design, I think, is great.
Oh, absolutely.
The trailer doesn't give us a lot of, like, we don't hear them have any dialogue, so I can't speak of the actors yet. Ooh, man. But yeah, going back to Katara and Sokka, I think they look great, dude.
No, they've nailed it. Like, this is a team, I'm not entirely sure who is behind this when it comes to the project, the showrunners and whatnot. I haven't done.
Albert Kim is the showrunner.
He must really love this world, because I'm very happy with what I'm seeing.
He absolutely adores Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I mean, even just like the embroiderment, like on her, on her jacket, like on the chest, that looks very detailed, and it's like the production design, the attention to detail it's amazing. It's not just some random like coat, like, oh yeah, this is close enough. It's like, no. And her necklace, which is right there as well. Yeah.
Her mother's necklace.
God, gonna make me cry.
No, but Albert Kim is the showrunner and executive producer. Dan Lin behind the Lego Movie. He's also working on this series.
Nice.
Mike and Brian, they left, the creators of Avatar. Big controversy. I always said that was a little concerning, but the people who stepped in have always said their love and admiration for this show. So I'm very confident that it's no speak of what the quality will ultimately be, right? But give it their 100%, you know? So
yeah,
I'm excited to give them a shot. And like you're saying, all of the details, they didn't have to give Katara the hair movies.
No, they did
but
not.
They did.
Yeah. That is a intricate part of her character, and it's her signature. But what do you think, this is Omashu or Ba Sing Se?
This is Omashu. Simply because
definitely
I can see them sliding right down these buildings.
Yeah, it does. It's, you know, it's the pointy, jagged.
Yeah. Aang's gonna try and get them to slide down this, right?
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Oh yeah. My cabbages.
This is gonna be the episode we're introduced to Cabbage Merchant.
But he's gonna be the star of the show.
You know, it's the original voice actor, right?
Is it really? Playing?
It is.
Nice. That's nice.
Again, though, I want to just appreciate the scale. Look how detailed this is. Like, they took the time to really craft this image here. I don't know how much time we're even going to spend in Omashu, because we're really only there for 2 episodes throughout the entirety of the show. The first episode we meet Boomy, and then in season 2 when we go back and Boomy's just all like neutral Jing, and he's just trapped. That's pretty much it.
That's the secret. And then we get the boy, the man himself, the legends, Zuko.
Zuko, yeah. These are just his soldiers. I feel like this is probably Zhao's camp, if I were to make that assumption.
Yeah, I have to put in my. I'm trying to put in perspective, like season 1.
You have to go back to the time.
Yeah, because, you know, obviously, like we said, we've seen it so many times, so it's like my mind's racing to 1, 2, and 3, like making everything together. And I think that was also a fault of the Shyamalan movie, where it's like I feel like they tried to condense book 1 into so much, and it's like you got to let it breathe. Season 1 Zuko, I think. You know, obviously we'll see a few more shots of him, but the ponytail itself just looks so clean.
Yeah, it does. I like the Fire Nation armor too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zuko's crew is very small, so that's why I feel like we're in Zhao's camp. Zuko's actor here. There was a lot of online discourse because of his eye. Do you think this burn is big enough? Or do you think they kind of shortchanged it? You know, in the animated series, it goes all the way up.
The way up, yeah. I think this is where, you know, for adaptation's sake, and when it comes to animation versus live action, with animation, you can get away with so much. Like, a character can look and sound as ridiculous as you want them to even like with Todoroki's. With Shoto's burn, like, obviously that is, I think that's more kind of like a little bit of a nod. I think, you know, the showrunners of MHA loved Zuko so much, so they're like, we're gonna have our own version of him here. But to answer your
while we're on that, in the Spanish dub of My Hero Academia, Bakugo, instead of calling him like Icy Hot or Bastard or Half, and he calls him Discount Zuko.
That is hilarious. And I wish
you're just Zuko, dude. Knock it off, man.
I wish that was in the English dub. That would be amazing. But I mean, for scale, for them trying to, you know, make this world feel as real as possible, I feel like this is fine. I mean, I guess they could have went like a little bit overboard, but it's like, I think
Yeah.
it looks good. I really do. For live action, like I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect to scale. And yeah, I think it looks fine. I don't, I'm not more of a fussy person, but it looks good. What do you think?
I'm with you. I very much think it's fine. Like you said, it's an adaptation. And we've
Right.
had this conversation before of like, you're not going to get everything 100% if for whatever reason the makeup team, maybe it was a time issue, they didn't want to spend too much time detailing this thing on the kid's
Mhm.
face before shooting every
Yeah.
day,
And
like,
that takes a long time too.
yeah. So would I have wanted it to be bigger? Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Is that going to ruin my enjoyment of the show in any capacity? No,
No.
not at
Because you
all.
know what? If you want that version, you can watch the original. It's all good.
It's streaming on Netflix right now. You don't even have to wait to February to watch that masterpiece.
Exactly. Well, even as we're talking about, changes to characters, Iroh here, his beard is technically like a little bit longer in the animated, but like again, you have to kind of size everything up. Like it would look cool if he had like that super long beard, but it's like this looks fitting for live action. And again, I feel like that long beard would probably get in the way of a lot of things.
Oh yeah, it would
But it looks
definitely
good.
get messed up with all the tea he drinks. Nobody wants that. Nobody
I
wants a soggy
know.
beard.
It looks like he goes to the barber now. He kind of gets it sized up, straightened out.
Yeah, this is Paul Sung Yoon as General Iroh of the Fire Nation.
Yeah,
He's just, again, I assume he's the one narrating the trailer. He looks great.
he does.
He looks perfect. There's nothing else I got to say.
No, honestly, it's smacked. Like if there was a live version of Iroh, like that's something I would imagine. And who is that? That's just a messenger hawk? Is that Hoggy?
I can't tell. It might be a messenger hawk. It could be like, I don't know. We're in the Fire Nation for sure. So
Yeah.
we're in the Fire Temple. Ozai's
The
hot
palace.
seat
Ooh,
over here.
that looks nice. And then Ozai himself looks
Ozai.
straight out of the animated series. Like honestly,
Yeah.
like
This
he looks
is
very
Daniel Day
menacing.
Kim, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got the Kyoshi Warriors, Suki.
We get our very first look at Suki. So for those who don't know, we did get images during Tadum a couple months ago where we finally saw Aang, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, Iroh. This is our first look at Suki. And it looks like Suki.
It does.
I shouldn't be this stunned, but I am.
I'm loving the attention. It's really just the attention to detail. Like obviously, in the animated series, you can dress them up, detail so far, but to see even like her crown, like in live action, to actually see like the embroiderment and just the overall sheen and just her overall, just her outfit, like it's just like pulled straight out of the animated. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna keep it as is. They don't really need to make any major changes. Like, even with Zuko's burn, I don't consider that to be a super major change, but like the burn is there, but you just have to scale it back for realism. But yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, that's Maria Zong as Suki. Fantastic. Leader of the Kyoshi Warriors. The Shyamalan movie notably cut out Kyoshi Island for time. So this is the very first time we get the story in live action. It'll be interesting. And of course, her and Sokka. Great moment.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the Kyoshi Warriors armor. If you look closely, they have matching outfits.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a little silhouette's kind of hiding it, but it's there. He's still got his little necklace on.
Yep. So that'll be interesting. I wonder how much time we spend on these individual episodes because there's only 8, and Kyoshi Island was its own episode.
Oh, it is only 8 episodes. Okay,
right. So will Kyoshi Island will this be half of an episode, and the other half will be them moving on, doing something else? Because it's not going to be the full 22 that we got from the original.
Exactly. I think what they'll probably have to do, and since it is only 8 episodes, I'm assuming these are going to be as close to an hour as possible.
Yeah.
When it comes to, they're condensing it, but in a different way while still giving it time to breathe. Because if it was 22 episodes, it would be awesome. But like, my gosh, that would be insane. Like, that's an insane budget. You are muted.
My entire theory, like if I were to pitch this show, if I was showrunner, right? If
Mm.
I was Albert Kim, not saying you're not doing a great job, but if I was in his seat, I would have just cut the seasons in half. Like I would have ended book 1, or at least book 1 part 1. We can do one of those. I would have ended book 1 part 1 with Aang meeting Avatar Roku. That'd be the final episode of the season, because that's the mid-season finale. So that's a natural stopping point.
Yeah, and I mean the show, the original show does have those beats like throughout the entire series. So I think that could also work. Like that, man. Now I'm wishing I'm like, oh my gosh. To if they wanted to do the full, every single episode, but I'm sure that they'll find a way. Or it looks like they're just kind of hitting the main points.
Yeah. Well, I know one main point where that again wasn't in the Last Airbender movie is Roku's temple and his island. Yeah, like that. Seeing this shot, I shouldn't have got excited for scenery. Like before Aang even flies into frame, I was excited.
Right. I was like, I know that
It.
place. That's Roku's crib.
Always remember who you are. Yeah, that's Roku's crib. This is
cuts to black.
And
then we get our first real look at Aang, not Ong, M. Night Shyamalan. Aang.
M. Night's just gonna catch all the strays in this video. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. They already beat you.
It's gonna hit him like a boomerang. It really is, though.
Okay, so since we're doing the frame by frame stuff,
this is
the Heibai episode where the forest is burned down and we have the spirit panda.
Right. Yeah. Spirit. Yeah. I think this looks like the Agni Kai between Zuko and his father.
It might be Zuko and his father, or it might be Zuko and Zhao.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I almost forgot about that entire exchange. That was a great fight. And honestly, just the effects of fire here. Look, the visual effects, like the CGI, they've got it knocked down. It doesn't look like it's, cheap CGI where it's like, oh, well, we'll just get a few flares here and there. Like, them bending, each nation bending the elements. It is effectively a part of those who are benders. It is a part of their identity. And, with each fighting style or each bending style comes with a different fighting style. But it looks, fantastic there. Whew.
I just, like you said, it looks great. I love, again, this is how we have like Shyamalan PTSD, just seeing the fire come from their fist and not from a freaking pot down the road.
And it's like, I swear it was like during that movie, they had to just like, form all these like jutsu signs to do like one thing. And I was like, okay, well, there's I think in the Shyamalan movie, it was like only certain firebenders can like, produce and bend the elements themselves. And I was like, huh. But yeah, I don't, forgive us. We have PTSD from the last time we were burned.
I think that shot, since we had the question, just to answer it, this has to be the first Agni Kai, I would think.
I think so. Yeah.
Between Zuko and his father.
And his father.
He's on the quest to now find the boy.
Yeah, because we had two full-haired little individuals. No, because Zuko had his... No, yeah, he has ponytail when he was younger. It was just, without the... Yeah. And then, I don't know. This is Roundhouse Kick.
Yep. Fire Princess herself, ladies and gents.
The Demon King. That's right. But she's not usually in season 1 because she doesn't come until season 2. But yeah, it looks like they're changing things around. Which
that's the thing that excites me. I kind of want to see what they do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's it's a challenge too, because since you said we are only getting 8 episodes, they have to kind of play musical chairs and shift things around, which is fine because again, this is an adaptation. Like it's within the same television medium, but it's still a different medium of itself. And in order to introduce these characters properly, they definitely have to cut some corners, and that's just you that's just how it is. But she looks menacing as always.
Menacing as always. That is Elizabeth Yu. We're gonna see if we're gonna be legitimately terrified of like a 16-year-old girl. Because they did cast her age accordingly. So we'll see if the kid has the chops for it.
Whew, man, if she is anything like it's gonna hit so well.
One thing I like, this is a cool touch, and praise to M. Night Shyamalan. The design from that movie are kind of present when Aang goes into the Avatar state in this shot.
I
see
agree.
kind of present. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Like the tattoos are, more detailed for sure than, it just being like a blue arrow from the original show. But again, you can only do so much. This is the attack on Kyoshi.
It is. Do we see them ride the elephant koi? That's my question.
I was going to ask that same question. Are we going to get that fun little episode, or at least a tidbit of? Are we going to get foam face man? That's what I want to know.
Check this out.
Yeah.
I need it. I need it all.
I need it. Yeah. But it looks great. It's to scale too, where, on Kyoshi Island, it's not a very big place, but when, it gets attacked, it's just so grand. And it's like, it feels like the entire world is like falling around them.
Yeah. The size difference will just make me laugh.
Yeah, I know, he's so tiny. Like, look at him but that's like to scale. Like Aang is the shorter one, even in the original show. He's pretty short. And Katara, I think that is to scale, because I think it was like that in the TV show. Like she was always like a bit taller than him, even while sitting down. It's funny.
It's about a 3 to 4 year difference, I think
so,
between the two actors. Gordon Cormier, who plays Aang, pandemics happened, strikes happened. If they get a season 2, I wonder how big of a growth spurt this kid will have by the time.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, because it's like, are we going to run into Momo? There he is.
So cute.
I wonder if we're gonna. I hope we don't really run into. I mean, effectively, what is happening with Stranger Things a little bit, but again, they were hurt by COVID a lot, because the big wait between season 3 and 4. But kids grow up so fast nowadays that I wonder how much taller he's going to be. Like, I hope they don't wait too long, but it is what it is. Because he does effectively kind of grow throughout. Yeah.
For sure.
It'll pay off in season 3.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be a menace. It's going to be great.
Yeah. But Momo,
this shot makes me so happy, because this is just Avatar: The Last Airbender. When I think of season 1, this is essentially what I think of. It's just Aang, Appa, Momo, Katara, Sokka flying around, doing their thing.
Yep.
Great time.
the golden trio plus 1 or 2, I guess you could say, with Appa and Momo.
They're a package deal. What are we thinking about Momo? Is he cute? Is he ugly? Uncanny Valley? How you feeling?
I mean, anything's better than the Zabumified moment we got in the M. Night Shyamalan. I think it looks great here. I need to see him more in action. Like, I want to see how Aang officially runs into him, live action wise. Obviously, I think that's going to be. I wonder if he's going to have like the Baby Yoda effect, or is Appa going to have that Baby Yoda effect where everyone's like, oh my gosh, you must protect them at all costs. But what do you like? I think Momo looks good. We don't have too many shots with him, but he's kind of moving around, so it's kind of hard.
that's also exactly how Momo is, where it's like,
Yeah.
and I wanted to point out how they're using and filming Appa,
They just
because
got a sky bison from the suit.
right, no, but how they're doing it is we have a lot of these shots like we have on the screen here where it's like his tail, and we don't have to animate his face, we don't have to
Right.
have him on screen in that way that much in these flying shots, so
Right.
that when they're on the ground and we do see them like feeding Appa or interacting with Appa, it's only probably going to be once or twice an episode, if that, because as much
Yeah.
as we love Appa, if we're condensing the story, we're not going to be seeing Appa that much. So they can kind
Yeah.
of hide behind, we can reuse the same flying type of animation, because Appa, it's not like he's flying any differently from one scene to the next.
That's true. He knows he understands the assignment. But yeah, even from the back, it looks great. Like I love how they were just able to capture him all together, at least from the back, from what we can see.
Yep. We got Momo here chilling with Sokka.
I think is this Kyoshi Islands?
It might be. Hold up.
That's unless
there's so much greenery here. It
yeah.
might be. Well, there is is that a statue? Is that a statue of Kyoshi?
Oh yeah, that looks like a statue. Yeah, I think that is Kyoshi Island.
It looks like she's holding her fan too.
Fan,
I think.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, and then we get the logo, the water, the earth,
water elements,
the fire,
the
air.
I wonder how they're going to tackle earth bending. We've seen a little bit of air bending here or there, especially we haven't seen water bending yet. We're really not going to see that until probably closer towards the end of season 1. But yeah, we've seen a lot of fire bending, a little bit of air bending here and there. But I wonder how they're going to tackle the earth bending and the water bending. Because again, I'm sorry, we keep going back to the Shyamalan movie, but it was like, my gosh, it was just utterly ridiculous how many like stunts they had to do to like throw like a rock or like throw a ball of fire, and I was like, man, oh man, that was just rough. But here, I'm glad that technology has advanced.
We are here, like what, 13 years later after the release of that movie.
Yeah.
Give them a little benefit of the doubt, but also the Avengers came out like a year after that, so
that is true, man. But yeah, when it comes to live action, I think a lot of people have been burned. I don't think this is going to, go that way. I think much like people watching One Piece, I haven't seen the live action of One Piece, but I hear it's a great time and great for people who don't want to, watch over 1,000 episodes. And
I love the live action One Piece, and really? I don't watch One Piece, so definitely can attest to that.
Yeah, so it's looking great. We just have to. Oh, there's Appa's face.
Netflix just released a still. So this is Appa's face.
Nice. He looks very bison-y, for sure. Yeah. He looks, like as if like a live action bison would probably look like, in this world. But there's always a bit of doubt, but like overall, like I am fairly optimistic that it's going to be good. Like obviously, nothing's going to replace the original, because like, the original is the original. That is what literally started everything. But I have a question for you. If, let's say if we get book 1, 2, and 3, do you think they go back and do the Legend of Korra at some point in time, or do you think that's too early to tell?
It's Netflix, so you never know. Like I just want to get to season 3. I would hate for this show to come out, be great, and then it just gets canceled.
I don't want that to happen. We don't want we're not looking for the Cowboy Bebop thing where it's like, something that effectively should have worked, but unfortunately did not. And then I think it was like a month after it came out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's canceled." And I was like, "That was so fast."
Yeah,
but hopefully, I want at least book 1, 2, and 3, the full story.
And it's also you have the issue of Avatar Studios, which I'm excited because we're getting two great projects. Hopefully we're getting Avatar Studios continuing the animation stuff with the original creators, then we're getting this show. But at like Paramount, Nickelodeon, they might see how successful this show is, and then they might be like, hey, what if we just do Korra on Paramount, because we didn't license Korra to Netflix, we licensed Avatar: The Last Airbender to Netflix.
Do you think Mike and Brian would go for that? Or, I mean, I'm not, since they left this project, I'm not entirely sure what their vision was. Like, obviously, we will probably put their, our full trust in their hands since they are the original creators. But, there was a different time where, studios were more open to new ideas. But that is a good point where they could do that. I don't know if Netflix was like, hey, when we say Avatar live action, we mean Korra as well. But if it's just the original, they possibly could, or they might just focus more on the animated
they also feel like Netflix can also be like, hey, we're gonna give you a boatload of money because this show really was successful for us. We need to do another one.
Yeah.
And they might license it out that way. That's why I don't know what can possibly happen. With Korra would be cool.
It
I'm
would
not
be
opposed to it.
Yeah. I mean, I like Korra. I really do. It's, it has its ups and downs, but like in the thick of it, like, farther you get in, it's great. It's still that Avatar quirkiness that we've all known and loved, and it has great storytelling. And I think it has I think Korra has one of the best life lessons where, I mean, not to get off track, but when right before she learns how to like airbend, and she finally speaks to Aang, and he says, when we're at our lowest points, like we're open to the greatest change. I think that speaks a lot of volume, and like it was great. And then poof, she's flying as if she wasn't already, but
so good. So good.
Yeah. But yeah, Korra would be cool. Like, Paramount, the strike is officially over now, so that's good. Ooh. Like, yippee. This little
yip.
Seriously. So I'm hoping, things are definitely going to be delayed, but Netflix, when it comes to this show, they seem to have a lot of faith in it. But again, they've had a lot of faith in other things as well. So you always have to just be a little cautious. Like, I am overly optimistic, but at the same time, this is Netflix. So I'm going to hold back just a little bit, but I'm very excited for this. I don't think it's going to be a dud, but then again, I don't know. We just have to wait and see. Like, it's 8 episodes. Hopefully they are as long as an hour as they can be. And it seems that they're taking pretty good care of this. So yeah, we just have to wait and see. The live action or animated to live action thing has always been a rocky thing, even with like video game adaptations. It's, it takes a specific group of people to understand the assignment, to understand, you have to also make sure that you're catering to your fans, because they are going to be the core audience that is watching this, but also for new watchers. And if this show can bolster and say, hey, someone's never watched the original show, they watch this and they go back and watch the original show, I think that is when an adaptation has done its job correctly, whether it's like a video game adaptation, book adaptation, or like an animated adaptation like this. Because it's happened with me where, like, Game of Thrones, I never read the books, but obviously, like, prior to watching the show, but like watching the show, like, prompted me to start reading the books. And it's like, wow, you even get more in depth of these characters and whatnot. So I'm hoping it's going to be a good thing for them, because Stranger Things it's kind of coming to an end, kind of, because I know they're doing like the prequels or whatever it was, the spin-off shows.
Yeah.
But, Netflix is always looking for that next best thing. And I think they thought they had that with The Witcher, kind of. So it's, Netflix
it really TV feels like One Piece and Avatar are being set up to be the future of Netflix.
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, what they said with One Piece, they want to keep doing God knows how many seasons, but
Yeah,
I
the
mean, we'll
showrunner wants
see.
to do 6, which go check out the Amateur Otaku. Brandon, Jamie, Isaac break all that One Piece stuff down. It makes no
Yeah.
sense to me. But apparently there's some version of this where they can get like halfway to like the halfway point of One Piece in like those 6 seasons or whatever. So fingers crossed they can do that. Same with Avatar. Like if we can beat the Fire Lord, I will be okay.
I think I would be okay too. It's, I don't necessarily, everyone's was wondering like for like The Last of Us, is the video game adaptation curse broken? And I was like, well, I don't think it's broken, but I think that The Last of Us was a great step in the right direction because number one, you had Neil Druckmann, who was like or at least co-creator of The Last of Us property altogether. And with Craig Mazin and just like I said, the right group of people can do the project well. And these stories have been with me and Mike for the last for not even The Last of Us, but The Last Airbender for years. And
since 2005.
Yeah, like it's a story that's never going, it's something that sticks. And I hope that this isn't just like, another animated adaptation gone wrong. Hopefully, with One Piece and this step in the right direction, but I don't want Netflix to get too not necessarily complacent, but I don't want them to be too reactionary when it comes to it because season 1, and we've actually talked about this like on our show, when we effectively covered the entire Avatar book 1,
Good
2,
plug.
and 3.
Guys, if you're watching this, go check out Christian's podcast, Film Optics. It'll be in the description. We reviewed the entire series, Avatar Last Airbender.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
And I remember you were saying that, book 1 with book 1 water, it's all about world building. And I think this trailer did a great job of showing us what's to come. And I'm hoping that the world building is great because that is really what book 1 is all about. And book 2 is all of the meat and potatoes. And then book 3 obviously is the resolution of everything that comes to pass. And you kind of throw out a few things of what you've known in the past. And, there's always big twists and turns, but yeah, book 1 is all about world building. And if they're able to draw people in, not even just fans, but new fans. Cause like, I want this to work so badly.
Oh yeah.
I really do.
We're not going to have to wait too long either. February it's not that far away. We're already into November. It's already Christmas,
Dude,
we're going to be requesting screeners for this very soon.
But I think what Netflix could do to kind of like bolster shows like this is to start showing them in movie theaters because this is like a grand scale event. I remember during Stranger Things Day, I think it was last year, where there was like a few theaters that were streaming the last 2 episodes of season 4, which is like massive. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. I know that Netflix, releases these on a, we're going to get all 8 episodes at once, but if theaters can find a way to like kind of do maybe like a weekly screening or like maybe like a 2 episode thing where,
just do the premiere,
Yeah. Or just the premiere and like the finale, something like that. That would be really awesome for Netflix and keep it in theaters for as long as you can, like small little fan events. I think that would really help get more eyes on it. Obviously, people are going to watch it at home, but that would be pretty cool to see in a theater. I would love to watch this whole thing in a theater.
I was talking to our friend Isaac off stream about Attack on Titan. And it's like that last episode of Attack on Titan is 90 minutes long.
Oh, is it really? That's good.
Why did you not put that in theaters? You could that's a movie. That's longer
seriously,
than the Lion King, really. Just put it in the theater.
That is a lot.
And I get, you don't want, like, I shouldn't have to go to the theater to watch the final episode of the show I've been watching. That's why you do the simulcast. You put it on Crunchyroll anyway, and then you put it in theaters for the hardcore nerds who want to go see it. And the same thing applies here. Of like, somebody's gonna much rather binge it at home But if you drop this, like, do a midnight screening of
Mm.
Avatar: The Last Airbender in a theater, yeah, we're the sickos who'd go out there and see it. Like,
Oh,
we're gonna be there in a
100%.
crowd having fun. Like, when the music started playing in this trailer, I got hyped.
Yeah,
Imagine us and 98 other nerds in the theater watching this for the first time.
that would be amazing. And like you said earlier, like, you know, the first thing like you noticed when we were doing the reaction is that they have the music has to be right, because music is very important to Avatar: Last Airbender, as well as a few songs that we get throughout the series, and
Yeah.
it sets the mood. It is just as much a character as any of the actual characters that we get within the series. It makes and breaks everything, and it's so important that would be awesome. Netflix, if you're watching, please. But also, like, I know Netflix doesn't really do a lot of physical media. Do you think
No.
if this is no, okay.
We already don't have Stranger Things, like, what, season 3
I
and 4?
know.
So
I know.
no point
Oh
even
my
asking.
gosh.
But
It would be cool.
our
I don't know.
only hope is that Paramount is like, hey, do this, because they are still licensing out the show. Like, maybe
Right.
Paramount
Yeah.
will pressure them into it. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Netflix does it for a few shows. And so does Amazon does it with The Boys. You can get seasons 1 through 3 on Blu-ray for The Boys. And I think, yeah, depending on who owns the property, Umbrella Academy is also on Blu-ray as well. It's not as many Netflix shows. I know they started doing Stranger Things 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, then they just poof. I don't know, but a boy can dream. But I'm very excited for all of this. So since we have Azula, do you think that Ty Lee and May are going to make an appearance?
I definitely do. And here, I'm going to share my screen. This is from a wonderful article on collider.com written by yours truly. Shameless plug.
There you go. If you can squint your eyes here.
If you can squint your eyes right here, right?
Here.
You see somebody in all pink. You don't need to look that hard, but you see somebody in all pink behind Azula.
Silhouette,
that has to be Ty Lee.
Has to be.
And then right next to Ty Lee, you see somebody in all black. That has to be May. I feel like they're here. Even if it's just,
I think so.
Even if it's just a flashback to Zuko's childhood,
Yeah. It's the other golden trio, I guess you could say. It was the other trio. They are a unit.
I think the internet dubbed them Ozai's Angels last I checked.
That is hilarious.
I don't know if I like that, but that's what they were referred to on the internet like a week ago. So
yeah, I mean, it's funny, but it's like the more you think about it, it's like we're like I don't even know. Definitely not angels. We're like forces of nature. You're on mute.
That's an accurate description. Forces of nature. Oh man, Christian, I think that might be everything. We spent 50 minutes talking about a minute and 52 seconds worth of
as we should have. Like, it's if this pops off, I'm very excited. Like you said, February is right around the corner. Heck, Thanksgiving is going to be here very soon. Before we know it, like, January is going to be here. It's like, oh my gosh, not The Last of Us, The Last Airbender. My God, sorry, is going to be here, and I'm going to be there day one. I'm very excited for this, and yeah, just don't screw it up, Netflix. That's all. Just don't cancel it after one season like you did with Cowboy Bebop.
That's the thing I hate about this fear is, like, we don't even have the dread of I hope this is good. We also have the dread of if this is good, don't cancel it.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, and I hope Netflix starts showing or be more transparent with their streaming numbers, because I feel like they should.
Sure, that was a part of the.
Is that the writers
deal
or the?
Yeah, like
okay.
you have to be a little more transparent because they now can get bonuses and royalties depending on how well the show does, which means Netflix
Right.
automatically has to be more transparent with how well a show does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's good.
I would love to know, like, their, what do they consider a failure? Because it's like Netflix pumps out so much stuff. So I guess another question is, do you think this is going to get buried or no?
No.
Like, okay.
No.
He's a nar.
No. This is this might be I feel like Netflix likes to release their shows in quarters, right? Like this is the premiere show of the start of the year next year, right?
Yeah.
The fiscal year. I feel like we had One Piece in August, and then we're gonna have kind of a lull. And then we're going to get Avatar, and then whatever show is after that. What is it? Wednesday or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Wednesday season 2. Yeah. Dragon Prince.
Prince. We're also getting a trailer for that any minute now. So if y'all enjoy this and you want us to talk about that, we can come back.
Did you finish the previous season?
I have time to do so now. Not through Invincible. I can finally get to Dragon Prince.
Yeah. That was I was like, okay, yeah, let's talk about it. It's just so good. Like, that show is very Avatar: The Last Airbender in some ways, but yeah.
Probably because Aaron Ehas's involvement. We're eating good, man. Ehas over here killing it with Dragon Prince. Then we have Mike and Brian over there doing Avatar Studios, making movies. Then we have this show that looks fun. It's a good time to not just be an Avatar fan, but just be a fantasy fan in general. We have the movie. We have House of the Dragon. We've got Rings of Power.
Yes. Sadly, we don't have Willow anymore, but hopefully it'll make its return. But we'll see. Not Percy like Jackson. Yeah. Oh, that's right. We do have Percy Jackson. Yeah, it's a great time to be a fantasy nerd. It's great. And if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3 out there on console or PC, you got that as well. So
yeah, you do. Fun stuff.
Fantasy nerds stay eating good for sure.
If you want to stay eating good, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out the Chatter After and the Chatter After Daily. Tomorrow, we're going to have a live stream breaking down Netflix Geek Week and all the news of this past week. We're going to be talking The Legend of Zelda. We're going to be talking the SAG After Strike. We're going to be talking Yu Yu Hakusho. That's getting a trailer. We're going to be talking Avatar because we have to get Joel, Jamie, Digis, Isaac's opinions on this trailer. So make sure you subscribe to the Chatter After, so you don't miss a thing. Subscribe to this channel as well. Christian, my guy, thank you so much for hanging out with me, breaking this down. It's been a blast. Where can the folks find you, man?
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. First and foremost, I knew this was coming out today, and I just didn't know when. But I'm always happy to be here. I love talking all things Avatar. So just fingers crossed. That's all we can say when it comes to Netflix properties. But you can find me and my show at Film Optics, which is kind of like right there underneath my name. We are available on all audio podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audible, you name it, where we kind of just go through a lot of movies and TV reviews ourselves. We have a lot of great stuff that is up right now, including our not The Boys, but Gen V season 1 review, which is also a lot of fun, and Invincible, where Mr. Leo from Geekly Goods joined us for that for the first 4 episodes. And yeah, we just have a lot of great stuff coming through. We're in full season for like award season, but definitely we're going to be talking the Battle of Songbirds and Snakes.
Let's go.
I'm very excited for that. But yeah, you can check our podcast out at Film Optics, Optics with an X, on audio podcast platforms around the internet. Again, Mike, thank you so much for having us, or having me, I should say, for this wonderful grand adventure.
Of course. Christian's info in the description down below, so you don't miss it wherever you get your podcasts. Guys, until next time, yip.
Yeah, water child.
Earthbending style.